Right, we are live again now. So before Mr. Pearson speaks, I would just like to call Dr. Einem because I believe you want to declare an interest.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, I'm afraid I omitted to mention earlier in the meeting that I need to declare a personal non-pecuniary interest in this motion. I am a retired registered medical practitioner. I do have an emergency licence to practice, but I'm not working locally at present. Thank you, Chair.
Oh, Chair, I'm sorry. It just occurred to me that my son has just taken a job working for NHS England, based in the East Midlands. So do I have to declare an interest? Never done it before.
Please, Mr. Kaufman.
I'm sorry?
Yes, please.
Well, I would declare an interest on the basis that my son works at NHS England in the East Midlands.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
It's Amanda Wright. I also need to declare an interest on the basis that my firm obviously has done some work for UHL and the NHS.
Okay, thank you, Amanda. Jewel?
Yeah, Madam Chair, my sister works for actually the Leicester Royal Infirmary, so I will declare an interest as well, non-prejudicial. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else who wishes to declare an interest?
I think you've already had my interest, Chair, on NHS issues. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, Ms. Newton. That is
Thank
correct.
you.
Chair, this is Councillor Brenda Seaton. My daughter works for the NHS in the neonatals.
No? Any more? No. I presume we lost the thread after. Sorry, after I'd done my speech, did we?
So I start again.
Right. So, St Mary's Birth Centre. I'm assuming the council is agreeable to the revised motion. If anyone wishes to speak on the motion, please press the raised hand button. Before I call on Alan Pearson to move his motion, could I speak as a local member councillor? The St Mary's Birth Centre has always been close to residents' hearts. I fully appreciate the proposed changes are intended to improve healthcare services across the county, and I hope the NHS can provide reassurance to the people of Melton, and I'm sure those in other parts of the county who are concerned about their local community services. Mr. Pearson, with the if you would like now to...
Thank you, Chair. It is changed. It shows you the reach of the National Health with all the members' comments. It is noted that it is one of the biggest employers in Europe, I believe. So, yes, just to start again, this was originally put forward. I will say that Amanda Hack did a brilliant job expanding it. It was a bit bigger before, but it's even come back better. So it shows you that everybody, the public watching there, that we do work as a team at times, and a lot of times we do a good job together. I'd like to mention that the motion that this council recognises, rightly so, the improvement required and going forward for the hospitals, the National Health, the investment of 450 million, and that's the build the better hospitals for the future. Notes the proposals including the reconfiguration, which is crucial to the acute and maternity services. So I'd like to say that this council also to recognise the strong local concern regarding proposed relocation of the midwife-led birthing unit and closure of the postnatal ward currently based in Melton Mowbray. Recognise the value of the standalone midwife-led services, which are really highly respected. Notes the concerns regarding the temporary nature of the proposed relocated services at Leicester General Hospital, and support the right, which is very important for local people, to campaign for local services. See that this council notes the response from the consultation is being led by the Leicestershire and Rutland Joint Health Overview and Scrutiny Committee on the 14th of December, and encourages all members to read Build the Better Hospitals for the Future consultation documents, examine how the proposed changes will affect residents in their division. this can impact everybody and services, as you're aware, throughout. And 3, give their individual responses to the consultation directly to the National Health and via joint committee. Just to add some points, recently the Leicester University, I'm not sure whether it was De Montfort, a study on health policy from De Montfort University suggests that it is a mistake potentially to close it. A standalone unit. Centralised maternity service at Leicester may struggle to cope with the numbers and affect the births. So some of these units have an impact. For me, I do believe sincerely that I'm passionate about services within the rural and within our Leicestershire area. I do like the hub and spoke process. I've worked with that before. It does work, and this is important for all community services, whether it's maternity or other services within our community. There is issues, as you're all aware, of travel, the distance we travel. We're a big county, we're proud of that. The congestion that it can cause. We're part of the environment emergency, and that also people travelling in vehicles backwards and forwards isn't conducive to good environment and good air quality. So I just think we need to keep an eye on that, and so therefore that's my motion, and I'd like to move that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pearson. Can I call on Mrs. Hack, who will be seconding the motion?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I'm seconding this motion, the amendment from the original one, as said by Alan already, and I'm pleased that we were able to put this motion forward in partnership. The motion as amended was to ensure that we were still able to recognise the concerns that were being raised by local people on the proposed reallocation of the midwife birthing centre at St Mary's and the associated wharf closures that went alongside that, but as well bring forward the debate on the consultation phase of the £450 million investment on hospital services across Leicester, Leicestershire and Rutland. There's been much progress in the days since this council supported my motion on the lack of transparency in 2018 on the STP. Leicestershire has secured its long-awaited investment in the hospital allocation, and we've also seen changes of leadership at the CCG and the Trust itself. We've also seen concessions being brought forward on bed capacity across the hospital sites. In the STP, there were proposals to reduce bed capacity, and we will now see an increase, for which the Joint Health Overview and Scrutiny Councillors have been provided with assurances on the management of those bed numbers longer term. The STP plans did also include the closure of St Mary's. This is a facility based in Melton, but one that is available to all women who require maternity services across Leicestershire. It's constantly topped the CQC ratings in the time I've been on health scrutiny, and it's an important part of the maternity offer for Leicester, Leicestershire and Rutland. There are local concerns about the relocation of the services offered at Melton. In the consultation, they are moving these services to the General Hospital. However, it's also the temporary nature of this movement, the movement to the General, that provides further worries about the long-term future for a midwife-led service for Leicestershire and Rutland. In addition, there are question marks raised by the campaigners around the wards that offer aftercare, not only for those women who give birth at St Mary's, but for those who birth in other venues or at home. These concerns need to and have to be listened to. Leicestershire has a huge opportunity to build our hospital services for the future, but it's important to recognise that these changes have brought forward a number of concerns to many on the nature of those changes. We have to use this opportunity to build better hospitals, better maternity and better outpatient care. Having beautiful, shiny buildings is going to be a huge step forward, but this should not be an exchange of improved provision for those that need it. This is why I hope the council will support this motion. Thank you.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much. I'd now like to call on Lee Brecken, please.
Thank you, Chair. It was just to really endorse this consultation. Is far-reaching, it's very wide. A lot of groups have got involved with it. I think it's good that Alan's brought a local matter to him, and I think all of us will have emails into our mailboxes and letters from concerned residents regarding changes to services that they possibly have used over the years. But I think all I'd advise and support everyone to do is please look at the consultation and really submit your own views and concerns, because I think that's why it is far-reaching. As Alan said, the number of people that declared interests in the services that we have in the county and in Leicester and Rutland are wide-reaching, and that would be all I'd say, Chair. So please do have your say. The consultation's running, loads of links, and let's get our views across. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Joel Meyer.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to echo what Mr. Brecken's just said there. He said a lot of what I was going to say. Is a massive consultation happening all across the county. I think what we have to recognise is that the NHS is one of our biggest partners when we're delivering services, and it's great that they're getting us involved. I think Overview Scrutiny, Health Overview Scrutiny has had a fantastic steer and the opportunity to influence this consultation. And I think Councillor Hack has done a great job on behalf of the Labour Group. But this is a joint, and I think this shows partnership working. Mr. Pearson has brought this matter to our attention. I saw him on East Midlands News, and he's doing what every good councillor should do, really, back for his division, back for his side, and for his residents. And I think it's very important, that is. We have elections next year, no doubt, but I just wanted to put that to one side. But really, I think this is such a massive investment into health services in Leicestershire. Doesn't matter who the national government is. I think we should welcome this kind of investment, because if you're Joe Bloggs on the street, it doesn't matter who the national government is, you want your local health services to be the top priority in your area, especially if you need it. Unfortunately, I needed A&E a few weeks ago. I hurt my hand again, unfortunately, and it was fantastic in there. It was quite empty. I can reassure you, it was fast. It was 60 minutes end to end, but the staff were working hard and the dedication was there and the commitment was there, and wouldn't it be nice for us to give them a new streamlined fantastic service end to end that residents can enjoy, but staff can enjoy when they're working there as well. Yes, there will be concerns. There is proposals to centralise. I think that's the way things are going. But it's for us to feed in, and as Mr. Brecken said, the more people that feed in and into the consultation, I think the better the end result will be on this delivery. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor. Mrs. Page, please.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Most of the things I wanted to mention have been said. I will support the motion, and I identify very much within to everything the previous speaker said. Whilst recognising that we need better and new hospitals, I still would like to reiterate the point again that this shouldn't be at the loss of community facilities. Now, I know that Melton residents are very much how shall I say, that it is a communal facility and there are strong emotions attached to it. But we have got strong emotions attached to a lot of our local facilities. In Lutterworth, I have the Fielding Palmer Hospital, which is dear to many people's heart, and people want to keep these facilities. But sometimes I think we need to see the bigger picture, and sometimes we need to move into the future. So I'm looking forward to the outcome of the consultation, and I hope that we will have a second bite at the cherry, so to speak, whereas we can feed into the results of the consultation. So if there are proposals we as members do feel do not meet our needs or the needs of the community in the rural areas, that we can come back. Thank you very much.
Mrs. Page. Dr. Feltnam, please.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. The reason I'm speaking really is because, being chairman of the Joint Health Overview Scrutiny Committee, we have a duty to ensure that we take on people's complaints, people's comments about the whole consultation. We don't make the decisions. We are there to scrutinise, and we will be on the 14th of December, as it says in section C of this motion. I shall be supporting the motion, but I think it's important, as others have said, people need to respond to the consultation, which is being run by the CCGs. It's all online. They are holding events, virtual events, of course, virtual forum meetings. Please look at their websites and you'll soon see how to join in on any of those. It's really important that we get as many people as possible to respond to this consultation, which is, as I said, it's a fantastic amount of money to spend on our local health services. And as I said, we'll be scrutinising it as well as we can on the 14th of December. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Dr. Feltham. Dr. Einan.
Thank you, Chair. And I'm very pleased to see that this motion's been expanded to include the whole remit of the NHS plan to invest 450 million in building better hospitals in Leicestershire. This investment is well overdue. It's over 2 years since I found myself sitting beside my husband's bedside in the Leicester Royal Infirmary's intensive care unit, where, along with saving his life, staff took the opportunity to lobby 2 councillors, explaining in no uncertain terms why they wanted 2, not 3 intensive care departments, and why they wanted a standalone treatment centre at Glenfield, so their colleagues could separate out day case and outpatient care from acute and emergency care. Regards to the proposal to relocate the freestanding midwifery unit from Melton to the Leicester General site, I really need to draw attention to the excellent video by local campaigner Helen Cliff, who makes a very passionate case for her local hospital. But if we want to look at the bigger picture, as Councillor Rosita Page suggests, members may wish to take a look at the 2016 Better Births National Maternity Review. This 5-year NHS plan gave examples of high-quality freestanding midwifery units, such as the Barkentine Birth Centre, run by Barts Healthcare NHS Trust in London. This is a small, freestanding midwifery unit co-located with a GP practice, dental surgery and pharmacy, and it can support up to 600 births a year. That review concluded, overall, that low-risk women having a second or subsequent baby will get good care. And there is no evidence that outcomes are worse in freestanding midwifery units when compared with alongside midwifery units, which I know are already in the NHS plans. And women who plan their births in freestanding units have a lower likelihood of intervention. And in addition, trusts which support more home births achieve better maternal outcomes than those trusts which support fewer home births. And the review did conclude that women should have access to all of the 4 birth settings recommended in the NHS guidelines. But there is a bigger picture than just maternity. Regarding some of the other changes, I have an interest over the years in disability swimming. So I want to know more about the closure of the Leicester General Hospital hydrotherapy pool and ask questions about the practicalities of moving this service to community settings. So I'm going to be putting my comments in and I really do support everyone who is saying, yes, there are so many different ways we can get our comments in. You can go to the consultation events, you can go online, you can talk to other members who sit on joint health scrutiny and ensure that your points are taken across there. Everyone needs to look at how the changes might affect residents in their division and get these points across to the CCG, who I know are doing their absolute best to build better hospitals for us here in Leicestershire.
Thank you, Dr. Einan. Mr. Kaufman.
Thank you, Chair. Just a couple of things. One is, I think my concern, and the concern expressed, is that not enough mums are using the Melton facility. That's why they're thinking of closing it. So the way to keep that going, and I would have thought, is to encourage people to come out from the city to go to Melton because there's such a wonderful facility. That doesn't appear to be happening. I'll support this motion. I don't profess to be an expert on anything like that because Councillor Pearson is a very nice man and I believe what he says. And Councillor Mrs. Hack, she's a lovely lady. So I will support this. But I thought the problem was getting the punters to go out there would solve the problem. The other query, I've never seen a motion on a council which talks about following the altered motion without actually seeing the original motion that has been altered. So some people may have seen it because we seem to have this new love-in between the Labour Conlab Pact or something, and all this love-in this afternoon. But I don't know whether I've missed it, and it's just a new way of dealing things, coming with amended motions ready to present to us. But, you know, I'll go with the flow. Thank you, Chair.
I missed it because it was in the agenda that was sent out. Mr. Coffin was the last speaker.
Yeah.
Mr. Pearson, you have the right to reply.
Yes, thank you. Just 2 points. Look, some of the comments have been brilliant, and it's really exciting. One of the issues, the consultation process, actually, I've lost count of phone calls that they're really concerned of the online brochure, the documentation. It's too complex, it's too difficult, and people are confused. That is not good enough. These sort of consultations need to be designed to be easy for people to access and not take 40 minutes on a computer to complete. In fact, I had 2 or 3 phone calls of people saying it took them an hour and they gave up. So we do some really good consultations, the Leicestershire County Council. I think we need to advise the Health Department to make it a bit easier for people. But finally, as Amanda said, and I'm quite impressed, big shiny buildings don't make great care. It's people that matter, and it's people who provide the services and the training. And if they're put under pressure with time and lack of resources, that can affect them. Today, I've just had a news flash. One of the biggest maternity hospital trusts in the country has just been downgraded to inadequate from the Care Quality Commission. They have 8,200 births a year, and it's dangerous. This is the comment. I won't mention the hospital, but it's very close to us. So what I'm saying, big isn't always better, and big isn't always safe. And I think local community hospitals and services, where it reaches out, normally can provide a very good, adequate service. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pearson. So can I take it that the motion is agreed? Can I have an indication? Do we all agree the motion? Well, thank you for that. And before I close the meeting, I'd just like to make a couple of comments. The first one is, could the Melton members please inform Melton Borough Council I will be late joining the meeting. You're sat at home, I've got to get there. So if you wouldn't mind informing them of that. And the next comment was, thank you all for your good wishes for Christmas. I really appreciate them. I put my Christmas sweater on to mark the occasion. I've also got my Christmas face mask, so I'm going to go out well protected. And just from me, I would like to thank you all for the support that you've given me over the 2 years I've been, well, not quite 2 years, I've been chairman. But I'd like to wish you all a happy Christmas, however you're hoping to spend it, and wish you all a happy, healthy and prosperous 2021. Good night.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Merry
Christmas.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Have a good